lot of people in this generation tend to rely on other people for happiness. They tend to rely on different relationships, such as maybe accepting toxic friendships or even jumping from relationship to relationship, having multiple partners. Finding self-love requires canceling out all negative thoughts. Canceling out negative thoughts requires sitting in your emotions and acknowledging them. Acknowledge the fact that you are upset. Acknowledge why you are upset. Be honest with yourself. A lot of people do not want to acknowledge the reason why they are upset. They don't want to face the fact that they are upset, that they are insecure about something. They are upset because they are jealous about something. They may feel a sense of embarrassment, but it is okay. You do not have to acknowledge this to a friend, okay? You don't have to acknowledge this to nobody at all but yourself and God. Sit in those emotions, acknowledge them, then tell yourself that you are just thinking negative. After you tell yourself that you are just thinking negative, think the opposite of it. A lot of people like to ignore their emotions by turning to drug use. They'll turn to drugs over and over to ignore those negative thoughts or ignore however they are feeling. And once the drugs wear off, you're back feeling the same way again. Some people may also tend to sleep their problems away. That doesn't work either, because when you wake up, guess what? You're feeling that same negative emotion again. If you go to bed sad, you're going to wake up sad. Fill your head with positive thoughts. Think the opposite of whatever it is you're feeling, but you must acknowledge it first. Hey y'all, it's Sanala and I'm back with another video. So today's topic is going to be self-love. I know that a lot of people may be having a problem with learning self-love. I also know that there are people out there who claim to have self-love but don't actually have it. First, let me give you my definition of self-love. Self-love is loving yourself completely from the inside out, loving all of your flaws, embracing them, accepting them, not relying on anyone for happiness, just solely relying on yourself. So I know that a lot of people in this generation tend to rely on other people for happiness. They tend to rely on different relationships, such as maybe accepting toxic friendships or even jumping from relationship to relationship, having multiple partners. So if you are currently questioning whether you completely love yourself or not, this will definitely help you find the answer. If you notice that sometimes when people leave your life, you enter this very, very dark place and you're super duper depressed, this may be a sign that you do not completely love yourself. Yes, sometimes it may hurt super duper bad when someone leaves your life, but when you completely love yourself, you learn how to accept it and move on without doing anything toxic to avoid the issue. For example, people who don't tend to completely love themselves tend to turn to substance abuse whenever they are down and don't want to actually face a problem. An example may be a large consumption of alcohol or just doing drugs or just whatever the case may be. You turn to something toxic instead of facing the issue. It is so important to love yourself, because when you love yourself, you're able to receive more love and freely give love out as well. So if you are currently in the process of finding self-love, or you have already began to achieve self-love, you want to completely learn how to love yourself, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. So we're gonna get right into it. First thing first, self-love starts with not caring about any negative opinions at all. Whether these negative opinions are regarding your flaws or just anything else in your life, you would not care. When I was at a point in life when I did not completely love myself, every little thing would get to me. Anything negative that anyone had to say would easily get underneath my skin. Yes, there still will be times where things may get up underneath your skin, but you'll learn how to control it better and you'll learn how to manage it a lot better when you love yourself. So to do this, it takes you actually realizing what your flaws are and just accepting them. Do not allow anyone to point out a flaw that you haven't even realized about your own self. That's why it is so important to sit there and take some time to get to know who you really are. When you learn how to accept those flaws, can't nothing that anyone has to ever say about you get up underneath your skin the way that it used to. I'm telling you. So you have to be nonchalant to negative opinions and just be fully content with yourself. Okay, next, learning how to find self-love. Stand up for yourself. When someone talks down on you, respectfully dismiss them. Notice I said respectfully. It is a way to respectfully put them in their place rather than cursing them out, arguing, lashing out at them. All of that just takes too much time and effort, honestly. No one deserves that type of energy from you. You love yourself, you do not put any of your energy at all into negative things or negative people. Okay, next, finding self-love. Embrace the things that you want to change about yourself. For example, I had been very, very small all of my life. For years, people would make different jokes about me and just find just different ways to get up underneath my skin. Yes, I am still small. I am probably going to be small for the rest of my life. But I noticed when I found so much happiness in myself and I began to embrace how small I was and I began to love myself and love the size that I was in, I actually began to gain weight without me even realizing it. Not only does this pertain to gaining weight, I feel like this could pertain to losing weight as well, or just whatever it is that you are kind of self-conscious about. Be happy. When you embrace whatever it is that's bothering you, can't nobody stop you. Okay, next, finding self-love. Find whatever it is that makes you happy and continue doing it, especially on your bad days. Whatever it is that you love doing, do not just do it whenever you're happy. Be sure to do it on your bad days as well. So when quarantine started, I'm sure that this shifted everyone's lives and it made it kind of difficult for them to continue doing the things that they would normally do. So I would normally keep my nails done, keep my hair done. I will always have a reason to do my makeup. So when quarantine first started, the nail salons were closed. I felt like there was no reason for me to continue doing my hair. There was no reason for me to do my makeup. It was just no reason for me to do anything. Those were the things I loved. When I stopped doing it, it's like I went to this dark place. Should have continued pushing. Once you find what it is that you love, it can be something off the wall, okay? No one has to understand why you love doing those things but you. Just be happy and enjoy it. Okay, next, finding self-love. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, okay? That's how depression starts. When you feel sorry for yourself, it lowers your mood even more. Get up and do something about it. When you are depressed, you may feel like you don't love yourself as much. There is almost a way to change every scenario in your life. And if you can't change it in a snap of a finger, it is okay to be patient. Pray about it, leave it in God's hands. You have been stressing over getting a job that you know you have been laying in bed all day. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and just get up and do something about it. Fill out job applications, update your resume, visit different places and talk to the manager personally. If none of those approaches work, turn to God and just be patient, because guess what? You have done all you can. While you are waiting, work on perfecting something else. Find another craft that you have and work on perfecting that, because maybe God wants you to shift your focus off of that job or whatever it is you're waiting on, and He wants you to work on you. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and just go after it. Go do something about it. Okay, next, finding self-love. I personally feel like if you love yourself, you will not allow yourself to be surrounded by negative people. Stop feeling like you need people who mean you no good at all. When you love yourself, you don't accept the bare minimum in anything at all. When you lack self-love, you tend to let people in just because you don't want to feel alone and you don't want to actually face the emotions you feel when you're not around those people. I used to feel like I had to be surrounded by a whole bunch of people in order to feel loved. So I would surround myself around so many people and they wouldn't do nothing but just bring me down even more instead of uplifting me and encouraging me. I would wonder why I was surrounding myself around so many people and I had all of these people in my life and I still felt so down. Like I said in one of my recent videos, reevaluate your friends. I'll be sure to drop the link down in the description below for that. But take a step back and kind of reevaluate your friends, reevaluate everyone in your life. Because if you have several people in your life and you have all of these multiple friend groups, they should be making you feel loved. You should not be feeling as down as you do. No, I'm not saying that your depression is linked to them. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that they are the reason for your depression. But they should be helping you to get through whatever it is you're going through rather than bringing you down even more. There are so many people who deal with and put up with certain things just because they have a fear of being alone, just because they don't love themselves enough to detach themselves from all of these negative people. They rely on other people for happiness. They rely on toxic friendships or toxic relationships to make them happy. This is why people hop from relationship to relationship, because they don't fully love themselves. You love yourself, you're not going to feel like you need to hop from relationship to relationship to feel loved. When you give yourself all the love that you need, everything else will just fall into your lap. Surround yourself around people who actually mean well and who compliment you more than bringing you down. Okay, next, finding self-love. Finding self-love requires canceling out all negative thoughts. This is probably the most difficult thing about this whole process, but you can overcome it. Negative thoughts are linked to anxiety. Canceling out negative thoughts requires sitting in your emotion and acknowledging them. Acknowledge the fact that you are upset. Acknowledge why you are upset. Be honest with yourself. A lot of people do not want to acknowledge the reason why they are upset. They don't want to face the fact that they are upset, that they are insecure about something. They are upset because they are jealous about something. They may feel a sense of embarrassment, but it is okay. You do not have to acknowledge this to a friend, okay? You don't have to acknowledge this to nobody at all but yourself and God. And it may also help to write it down in your journal. Be honest with yourself. Sit in those emotions, acknowledge them, then tell yourself that you are just thinking negative. After you tell yourself that you are just thinking negative, think the opposite of it. Think of something that makes you extremely happy, like a future goal or anything that you want to accomplish. Ignoring your emotions make it worse. A lot of people like to ignore their emotions by turning to drug use. So they'll turn to drugs over and over to ignore those negative thoughts or ignore however they are feeling. Once the drugs wear off, you're back feeling the same way again. Some people may also tend to sleep their problems away. That doesn't work either, because when you wake up, guess what? You're feeling that same negative emotion again. If you go to bed sad, you're going to wake up sad. Fill your head with positive thoughts. Think the opposite of whatever it is you're feeling, but you must acknowledge it first. Next, self-love. Explore things outside of your comfort zone. Explore new talents. 9 times out of 10, wherever you explore out of your comfort zone, you will enjoy it. And once you explore it, do it consistently. It becomes something that you can do whenever you are down. So something that used to be outside of my comfort zone was nature. So when I was down one day, I decided to visit a lake. That was something that seemed to be outside of my comfort zone. But when I did it, I felt at peace. And it became something that I began to do consistently. Explore your talents. Just try things outside of your comfort zone. I know that everyone has those things that they wish that they can do. You may watch other people do it and you may constantly tell yourself that you wish you could do that, but guess what? You can. You can do anything that you wish to do. So take that step and do it. Take that step and go for it. Go out of your comfort zone. Release that fear and do it. Finding self-love. Keep yourself up. Part of self-love is the way that you present yourself. Most of the time when you look bad, you feel bad, okay? When I was inside of a dark place and I was not doing my makeup anymore or doing my hair or just any of the things that I love to do, I would literally leave the house not looking my best. I didn't care about the way that I presented myself, and it just brought me down even more. Present yourself in a nice way. It makes you feel good. Take care of yourself. Okay, lastly, think about whatever your fear is and go after it. Wherever you lack confidence, face it. So, for example, I had a friend who was not confident about cutting their hair. For years, he would work on growing his hair out all because he did not like the shape of his head. He finally put all of that behind him and he faced it. He faced what he lacked confidence in and he cut all of his hair off and he felt so good about it. It made him gain so much confidence. So whatever you lack confidence in, just go after it. It is the part of self-love. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, comment below, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I love y'all so much. Bye.